Okay, today's topic is going to be inventions that can change the world. If allowed to, but the biggest issue is that money and politics is holding us back for it. So let's get started. There are many inventions that could make a significant impact in our world. However, it is suppressed due to financial costs as a startup, but also because it would cost other industries to lose millions and billions of dollars of uh, if it would come to power. The first thing we're going to talk about is manure. Human manure, animal manure, and bio waste uh, is a free energy and is something that is created every day, and it can be used to fuel and power housing. We talk about these data generators. It can do that as well. Hold up, I got a really bad echo. 1 second. Yes, yes. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Streamer mode. Okay. That is a lot better. Okay, so it's still echoey. I gotta figure that out and work on that. But manure as a fuel source. Humans create manure, animals create manure. You also have bio waste from either dead plants or something that can create a gas. It is the best renewable resource, more than wind. Solar as well, but when the sun, if you're not getting the direct sunlight, then that's bad. But people will always poop, animals will always poop, and the methane gas is what you want. So I think that's what we should be focusing on. Gas, natural gas to me, which I like, but it does pollute. But we don't need to take it to the earth because humans actually created, animals actually created. If we were to collect all that, store it in power, we can power this entire planet, and it's constant. It's constant, recreated. It is a cycle that could be used. This has been around since the 60s, but has not been promoted. And there's some places that where people use it, places where farms are to use it to create. Okay, also we have real recycling. Um, People always say that things cannot be recycled. They actually can. Um, we know how to break down plastics. We know how to separate metals and use it again. It's just not cost effective. That is the biggest thing. At this current time, it's not cost effective. But we invest in often in things that are not cost effective at the beginning, such as right now we're investing in AI, which is not cost effective right now. AI companies are losing money. They're losing money, but then it's called a startup. If we would do a real recycling, not the fake recycling where they just send the money to, they send the products to the third world and destroy it and then just dump it, not destroy it, just dump it. And the trash is just sitting in places. But if we were to collect all of that and do it properly, then recycling is possible. It's just the cost has not become efficient at this current time. But over time, it will become efficient. Unfortunately, it would be a lot of pollution. Fresh water. There's a lot of fresh water issues such as Iran, Mexico City, and Mexico. Um, Even in the United States, they say that fresh water is going away, which is bull because we can just simply take it out of the ocean, take the salt out of it, and create fresh water all over the planet with no problem. Also, as other things except also from cloud seeding, not cloud seeding, basically where you take ocean water and you boil it, the water goes up into the air and then it rains. And that can be used if you use renewable energy to create that power to do that, then that becomes a very easy source for it. But the biggest thing is we do have a water problem in this world, but we already know the solution. We are just not doing it. I kind of mumbled through that, so I'm just go very simple. There's not a fresh water scarcity. We're just not putting the effort into solving the issue because we know the solution. It's a very simple solution. We just don't do it because it's not cost effective and people are suffering from it. And it's also very profitable to have fresh water scarcity because people will pay severely for the fresh water. Hold on, went backwards. Okay. Groundwater replenishment, as well as another problem. We take a lot of water out of the ground but do not put it back. This is a simple water cycle table to where you can replenish the groundwater in it. The earth kind of does this naturally. There are ways of doing this. Many places have, I just messed up. Go back. Have come up with ways of basically putting the water back into the ground. There is a danger of erosion, but if you do it properly, the water will seep in. This is where the water is gradually put back into the ground, basically just by soaking in through the ground over time, not just pumping a bunch of water into the ground because that would cause severe erosion. And it's called basically aquifer restoration and then artificial recharging systems, which we do have. But unfortunately, at this current time, it's not cost effective. De-desertifications, we have deserts all over the world, but we know how to stop deserts from growing. The desert is perfect land for that. I know people say it's very hot out there as conditions, but we know how to change those conditions. It is very costly for the beginning, but just such as in Libya, where Gaddafi he built several pipes to pump water all over Libya. It was fresh water, drinking water over it. If you use that same procedure and gradually replace the groundwater in the deserts over time, once that groundwater has reached a significant value, the desert would stop being desert because the plants there, life will find a way to grow because of the groundwater. The groundwater creates life over time. Everything, it just takes time for it. It's something that must be done in order to basically save the planet. I think it would significantly change Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. It still will be hot, but over time, I think we could actually change that as well. The temperature there, but that's a bit of a different topic. But I say de-desertification is something that is possible. Pollution. Pollution is something that we can curb as well. Currently, our waterways, land is being polluted. We do know how to correct that. Many waterways that are just rubble with trash is that's the easiest one. You collect, take all the trash and all the gunk and all out of the waterways, off the land. Take it to, goes back to my earlier topic. Go take it to a proper recycling place to where the trash can be properly separated, to where you just have the metals, the plastics, the paper, and then the bio waste. The bio waste can be transferred and turned into energy source to where the bio waste is used up to where it's down to carbon, and then you just put that into the ground, and then that is used as fertilizer. The plastic can be turned back into where it comes from, oil or into plastic. And the paper, of course, paper that can just be turned into carbon because paper comes from wood. Wood is natural, or it can be turned into other paper, or it can just, yeah, be turned into carbon. The liquids, the chemicals, just knowing what the chemical is, just gather much and turn it back. Such if it was like oil and you collect it all, separate it all, then you have the oil, and then you could sell the oil as reusable. Or if it's into a certain type of chemical, well, what is this chemical used for? Okay, we can use that for this. Or if it's just a harmful chemical as a byproduct, then we just store the chemical and turn it into a solid, and then you can actually mix the chemical into the plastic and just collect it there. Because if you get enough of the chemical, such as the chemical used to make non-stick pans, it's the byproduct of it. You get enough of it, you reuse that chemical again to make the coating again. Once you get enough of it built up. Um, and it's just the biggest thing. There's a lot of technologies that are also being suppressed just because it's just not supported. Because people want the bag more than they want a better planet, but that is more of a bigger human issue. Uh, just humans and greed, and it's just what we're trained to do. We're trained to get the bag, profit, big money, big cars, many women, party lifestyle, and they want it. Some people are just trying to survive, but the people that actually have the power to actually help control the world, they would better buy a big boat, or have two big boats. Now I got three big boats. Now I got four. Now I got a rocket ship, and it's just that's not the way it's supposed to be. But that's just humans being humans on it. This is something to look deeper into. Like if you were to go to YouTube, you would see that there are videos on this. This is not something that I just made up. There are several videos on these fuel sources that is talked about, and I'm gonna show these to you. 1 second. Dreamer, dreamer. Daydreamer. Okay, we're going back to YouTube here. We're doing this live. We're doing this live. Got the Zohan there. All right, I'm gonna have to shrink this down. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Okay, let's shrink this. Make this fit the screen. Stay away from this guy Gene Dale. He's acting like he's the bad boy whisperer, but man, I think that he's a scumbag. All right. So now we're gonna go with manure as a fuel source. Okay, as you can see, there are many channels that talk about this. Cow manure bricks fuel livestock. This was 2 years ago. They're talking about this. This is in China. Okay. Biodigested methane as a fuel. Manure turns into methane. Methane is fuel. Okay. Now we go real recycling of plastic. Oh, civil engineer. Okay. Turning trash into cash. Recycling center. There's a simulator that does that. This kind of neat. Let me find something else. I'm just gonna type in real recycling. But it's so much information on this. This is one thing I do. But this is just talk about how what's currently going on with plastic and how they said they're recycling it or not. But you actually can do real recycling. I'm gonna do a short clip of
So you threw your waste in a recycling can.
Of it, just basically just how you put it into the trash. Waste. It goes to the plant. You see how people are separating, going fast, and basically moving. So he's going fast. He's trying to gather. And processing it. Collectibles comes here. Here. That's processing paper. Find little bits. See, turns into other things. It is possible to do this. E-waste. We can do this. We just don't put the effort into it. Okay, so that's just on recycling. And then water desalination. The Saudis are doing this. We'll talk more about microplastics in our body. Okay. Oh, Israel, right here. It talks about Israel. This is real quick clip. This Israel desalination plant right there. You see the solar panels is how they take it from the ocean. It's desert and natural of Israel, so they pump water in. Okay, where is it? Saudi Arabia, solving the water crisis. There's channels dedicated. And different things. And I think Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm going to show this short from Joe Rogan where they talk about it. I'm taking away the sound. Just try to kind of avoid copyright. And they kind of talk about it in more depth. But go to Joe Rogan and then check that out. Then it will tell you more about it. Okay. Let's see what was that? De-desertification. That's going up against desert. China. China is stopping desertification. They're doing many different things. How Africa is restoring desert into fertile land. But it's many different channels to where we currently know how to do it. So it is possible. All right. Okay. Then we go to groundwater replenishment. Groundwater replenishment. This just shows that we do have the technology. We do know how to put the water back without causing severe erosion on it. But that's just the biggest thing though, is just we do have problems on this planet, but we also have the solutions. It's just the people that have the ability to do it just don't. And this is just something else that kind of goes along. It has nothing to do with having the will to be able to change things, but not doing anything to fix things. We're going to talk about Baltimore abandoned buildings. A lot of people think that these buildings that are just torn down buildings that nobody cares about, but people actually own these buildings. This is mostly a city problem because in very wealthy areas, these towns and cities that look like this would not be allowed to do so. Whoever owned the buildings, they would be contacted and say you have to do something with them or sell them back to the bank. But in the city of Baltimore, people are sitting on these locations and they're waiting for gentrification to come through, somebody to come up, and then they'll ask way overvalued prices for that. This is where I talk about having the will but not being able to do so. All these buildings should be completely torn down. This area should be torn down, gentrification, where you come in, you tear it all down, and you put something here that would bring the property value up on the land and actually help the city. But unfortunately, the people that have the power do not care. And that's just human behavior on that. And that's basically what this goes back to. We do have a will of changing this world for the better. We just don't. Hopefully in time that will change. Unfortunately, with humans, it will take something bad to severely happen for us to change our ways. All right. Thank you.